Prepare to be transported back in time with my stunning medieval house in Ark Survival Ascended. This build aims to bring the charm and essence of the Middle Ages to your Ark worlds, offering a cozy yet functional abode for all your needs. Whether you're a history enthusiast or simply seeking a unique home, this base is perfect for you. In this magnificent build you will find a fully equipped kitchen, a dining area for grand feasts, a blacksmithing zone, a laboratory for your research needs, a spacious storage area, and a cozy bedroom for a restful night's sleep. If you find yourself enjoying today's build, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now, without further ado, let's go back in time to today's tutorial. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to a brand new building episode with me, LolsAtLance. Today I'm going to... What's that? Why do I look different? Well, I decided to cut my hair. I'm glad you noticed. I've cut my hair. I decided it's time for a change. Anyway, today I'm going to be tackling on a medieval house, something I've seen requested in the comments a few times, so I thought, hey, let's give it a go. Today we find ourselves on a beautiful grassy hillside bathed in sunlight. On the map we're located at Latitude 37.5, Longitude 21.6. This spot offers a flat grassy hill with stunning panoramic views. It's perfectly situated between the snowy mountains and the Volcano region, providing easy access to both areas. An ideal location for those who seek convenience and beauty in their builds. Okay guys, but quickly before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who leaves comments on my videos. Because you've been leaving comments asking for a medieval build, that's why we're doing this today. Oh my god, so many Argentavis? Oh my goodness, is there some kind of event on at the moment? Because look at the colours on these things. Oh my goodness, they're beautiful. I want it. Come here. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I ended up getting two. Look at this one over here. Wow. I mean, if there's an event going on, I'm going to have to go on my survival series and definitely start taming some of these guys because, oh my goodness me. Anyway, on with the tutorial. Okay, ladies and jelly spoons. So we're going to start off with a 7x7 square. So I'm going to be using foundations today. Obviously, if the terrain is a little bit rough, I mean, my area is a little bit rough, but hopefully I do get it all done with foundations. But if you can't, just use pillars and ceilings. So let's do 7x7. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this way. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this way. And then we're simply going to fill in the middle here. And then this is going to be the base of your house. So next up, we're going to be using the wooden walls, but I'm going to reverse them so they're this way round. And I'm going to go around the entire build now by 2 walls high, just like this, all the way around. Amazing, and then we're going to use the quarter wooden wall and go around the very rim of the walls all the way around. So it should look something like this. Okay, now I'm going to just swap out one of these walls here for a door, just so we can get inside of the build here. And then let's put in some temporary stairs just to get us to the top here, where we're going to add in some ceilings above here. We're not quite making it to the top. Can I jump up here? No. So let's put in some stairs here as well. Kind of just work our way out. I mean, these are all temporary. It's just so that you're able to work on the ceiling and the next layer here. So let's fill in this entire area with ceiling tiles, starting from the corner here. So I've already mucked up a bit because we need to get rid of that one. And start from here and get rid of that one. And then just fill in the entire area. So you should have a giant box now, just like so. And now we're going to be using the quarter wooden ceiling, and we're going to go around the entire rim of the base. So we're going to go around like this, going all the way around. So it should look something like this. And now we're going to do something a little bit unusual. We're going to just use quarter walls here, going up 2 times, just on the front side and on the back side. So we're going to do this all the way across the front side and the back side. Let's do it. There we go. So as you can see, we've got a front side and a back side done. And then along these sides, we're just going to use the normal wool, going all the way across. There we go. So you should have this side and this side in. Of course, when you're doing it on survival, you'll be building from the inside here along, so do not panic. It's all the same. I'm just showing you from the outside how it looks. So now we're going to fill in the top part here and go up as high as we need. So from the side here, we're going to go up by 2 with the normal walls. 1, 2. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go all the way up by 1 more, I think, at the top here. So like this. So it should look something like that. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side here. Perfect. So you should have that side and this side in now. So now we're going to use our sloped walls to get us all the way to the top and back down again. And repeat on the opposite side. So now on this side and on this side, you just want to bring the walls up by 3 in total, all the way along. And then we're going to add in the roof. Now for the roof, I like to add in a few of the roof tiles like this. And then I usually get one of my flyers, land on the roof with a perfect landing. Look at this, perfect landing. I'm a gamer. And then I'll continue to add in the roof tiles all along the roof where I need to. We're also going to be adding a bit of an overhang. So we're going to go an overhang on this side and an overhang on this side as well, if I can get it. There we go. And for the overhang down here, rather than using a roof tile, we're going to use a ramp. And I'm going to use the underside of the ramp. So I'm going to flip it to this side. Go all the way along. And then for the tippity top up here, we're just going to add another ramp going along the top here. So it should look like this. And then all you got to do is repeat that same design on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And with that added in, you should have the shell of your house. Now, you might have noticed I haven't added in any windows yet, and that's just because this is just how I like to build. I like to do walls first, and then plan out the windows later. I usually like to do the windows where I'm going to get the most light from where the sun's beaming in. So let's now go to the side of the house here, because I think a fun addition to this medieval build could be a nice tower kind of sticking up through the build. So to do this, I'm going to go to the back left of the build here, but you could do back right or wherever you really wanted. And I'm going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4 foundations. And then we're going to want to go up by 1 stone wall all the way around. And then we're going to go up by one wooden wall facing outwards, followed by a line of quarter walls. And then we're going to want to go up by a further 4 wooden walls. But now, you might notice that these walls are kind of in the way. So, I think the best option here is to delete these 3 walls. Like so. And then replace these sections either side with quarter walls. And now we can safely go up by 4 walls in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to fill in the little gaps with some quarter walls going up. Now, if you're playing on official and for some reason it won't let you place any walls through the ramps here, which I hope it does, just delete the ramps. You don't need it there. And then on the other side as well, so you delete this one and you delete this one. It might not look flush, but at least you'll be able to put this in. And then we want to add in a wall on this side and on this side. Then I'm going to place a pillar on this side and on this side. And now I'm only going to use the quarter walls to do this next bit. So I want to go up by 3 walls in total. So 1, this is a whole one here. So 1 wall, 2 walls, 3 walls. Because I'm counting them as full walls rather than quarter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 quarter walls if you're counting like that. Which is a better way to count. I don't know why I didn't count like that. I'm a fool. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 to this side, get rid of that middle one, and then go all the way up, back around, and 1 more there. And as you can see, we've got a perfect wall-sized hole in the middle. With that hole, we're going to put in a door right there. And now you're literally going to take exactly what we've done here, and we're going to do it on every single side of this tower. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And if you've done that all correctly, it should look something like this. Now on this side, I just want to point out that I did end up adding in some quarter walls at the bottom here just to fill in the little gap below. And then for the roof, we're going to add in the wood roof corner going along the top here. Now I need to get the right snap point here, so it should be that snap point and look like that. And then I'm just going to go around the entire top of the tower like this. Then we're going to use our normal roofs and go around each side. And finally just add in the wood roof corners in each corner. So the tower should look something like this. Okay, so I think it's a good time to start planning where we're going to put the windows, because at the moment I have no idea. I'm thinking we're definitely going to have some plain old normal windows down here. Like so, and then we're going to add in a bay window. I think they're called bay windows, the windows that stick out. So I'm thinking we'll add our first bay window right here. So I'm going to use the quarter ceilings like this. Then I'm going to add in a door, followed by some quarter walls either side of this. And then we're going to want to put a roof on top of this. So I think we should delete the wall behind. And we should be able to fit in a roof like so. And then you can simply fill in the gap above with some quarter walls like this. And carefully add in a sloped wall either side. And of course you're going to need to delete the wall inside here so we can actually see through it. And I think we better as well put that same design over here as well. So let's put it in right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And just like that, we've got our second bay window in. Now I'm feeling like we do need a third bay window in the middle somewhere. So let's find out where the best place for this is. So I think that's a little bit too high. Maybe the one below that. I actually think that might be a little bit too low. So a way to fix this actually is putting some quarter walls along here. And I think that's the perfect place for the window. So let's do it from here. Let's do the same thing we did down here, basically. So we're adding in our quarter ceilings. Now I think up here we should try out some double doorways. Then our quarter walls. And then our roof tiles and sloped walls. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's the perfect height for that window. I think that looks pretty good. Talking of bay windows, I'm thinking it might be nice to have a little roof over our doorway here. So if we add in some quarter ceilings above the doorway and then get a wood triangle roof, we can do like a nice little roof design just above the doorway like that. Now guys, if you do have access to the Frontier skin, it is something I'm going to be using today, but do not worry because everything that I do is completely doable without the Frontier skin. I'm just using it for the windows, but of course you can use greenhouse glass instead. So I'm thinking 2 windows there might be nice to get in some good amount of light. Now on this side, I think I'm going to do bay windows again. So we're going to copy the same design of this one and the doubles. So I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to add in a single bay window there. And on the other side, we'll do a single bay window here. And then right in the middle, so the double will be this section here. And so let's add in those bay windows now. And there we go, those are added in. Now, I do realise that they're a bit high up. I kind of wish that I brought them down by a quarter wall. We could always change it later if we really hate it. But I think we'll just leave it as is for now. Coming back around to the left side of the build here, I think it would be cool to have some sort of nub coming out, like a little bit of the building coming out here. So let's put one foundation there, followed by walls going around. Followed by quarter walls above. And then a ramp. Very nice. Now, I know that there's a gap there. What I usually do is I just like to add in a railing below, like so. And while we're at it, we better as well add in some railings just up here to get rid of this little gap. Now back to the bay windows, because everything we've done at the front here, I want you to repeat on the back here. So literally the same design, we're just going to repeat again. And now those are added in. And guys, I did make a small adjustment, mainly because I cocked up basically. So the reason I've done a double on the bottom layer is literally because I accidentally put this bay window too far to the left and realized it should have actually been here. So rather than deleting that one and just putting it there, I was like, well, what if it's a double? So now we've got a double. I mean, guys, I'll just keep it as it is on the other side. I might change that back later, but that's, you know, I've done it now. So there you go. Now, the only other additional detail that I'm thinking of adding is out here. I think it'd be nice to have like a little awning out here. So I'm just going to put in some foundations where I can. Let's see where we can place them. Let's try and go all the way around, actually. Let's go around this way. So actually, I'm going to go all the way around the build. We better as well go out by, let's say, 2 foundations all the way around. And anywhere where I can't place a foundation, I'm going to try and place a ceiling tile as well, because often you're able to place them. So let's do that going all the way around the build. Okay, there we go. So now let's try and add in our awning. So for the awning, I'm thinking going down by 2 ramps from that wall right there. Followed by an upside down ceiling tile, if I can get it. There we go. And then we're simply going to add in some pillars going down to the floor. And then add some upside down railings going along the rim. Right here, we could possibly do a little pattern. So we could do something like this. And have one going down and down. Now that awning is quite long. If you want a shorter awning, all you got to do is probably just take out these 2 ramps and keep it 2 ramps and then 2 ceilings. That'll be enough. Now, before we go ahead and add in all the pillars and details to this build, I highly recommend that you consider painting it first, because this is what's going to bring the build alive, and I think it's so much easier to paint it before you add in the pillars. So we're going to be using white paint first, and we're going to select every single one of the color regions. And we're basically going to colour all the walls on the 2nd layer. So not this bottom layer here, none of this, but all of this up here. This is all going to be white, apart from the bay windows. All white, going all the way around the entire build. And then this section up here, so not this section of the wall, but these walls all the way up here, these are all going to be white as well. So I'm going to get to that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've painted that all in, it should look something like this. So I do really quickly want to point out that I did end up changing these bay windows back to how they should have been. I was just being lazy earlier, so they're back to how they should be. And as you can see, the tower up there is all painted, this section is all painted, it's all painted above the bottom layer. So now what I really think is going to make this pop is if we use a colour called teal. Have I got any teal? I do. And we use that on the roof. Let's see what this is going to look like. Aha. Yeah, that is a good colour. So we're going to use that all along the roof here. So this roof, we're going to do this roof as well. We're going to leave the bay windows and then also do these roofs down here, as well as the awning here. I think the awning as well. Maybe not. I'm not sure. So let's do the awning. Well, just basically we're leaving the bay windows out. So everything else we're going to paint teal. So let's do that now. And once you've painted the roofing, it should look something like this. Now for the exciting part, because now we're going to start adding in all the beams across the entire build, which is really going to bring this build to life, I think. So you might be wondering why I added in all these quarter walls at on the bottom layer here earlier. Well, this is because I'd like, if I can, to place in pillars going on each section of the quarter walls here. And then we're going to bring some pillars going across. And then we're essentially just going to go up wherever there's like a join. We're just going to take the pillars up with the joins. So all along here, all the way across. Let's do it now. And then more or less, we're going to do the same thing, but across the build like this. There we go. Doesn't that look fantastic? So the same methodology we're going to be using on the left, the right, and the back. So the back's literally going to be identical to this. And then we're just going to basically do the very similar things to the sides. So I'll go across like this. Do my sideways pillars as well. So we're going to do this basically everywhere. So let's get to that now. And there you have it. All the beams are in and all of a sudden the builds come to life. Now this next part is completely optional, guys. You don't have to do this, especially if you don't own the Frontier skin. But I'm thinking of adding in the skin, potentially, on the bay windows. And potentially, actually, on the beams. Oh my goodness, the beams might actually be really awesome to do as well. Oh yes, that actually looks pretty decent. Kind of like that. Oh yeah, we'll definitely do that. And I'm even wondering, what if we did the roof as well? What's the roof going to look like with this skin? Oh, it brings out the blue of the teal. Oh, I think that looks a lot better. How about the ramps? Well, the ramps don't really change colour much. But yeah, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do all the bay windows, all the roofing, and all the pillars as well. So I'll go ahead and do all of that now, swap out all the skins on the beams, the roofs, and the bay windows. So I'll do that and I'll see you in a second. And once that structure skin is all added, it should look something like this. Right, so this medieval house is basically built now, so I think we should probably move our attention to the interior, shall we? So this is the first floor here. And then if we pop up to the second floor, just get rid of this ceiling here so we can go up. This is the second floor. And I've just realized that maybe this floor should be one wall higher, maybe? Because the windows are all the way up here and we're all the way down here. And actually, coming to think of it, the stairs don't reach up here properly either. So maybe if we went up by half a wall, it would actually be better. And this is completely my fault, guys, that I've got this wrong. So half a wall would be there. So we want half a wall. So this is the height it probably should be, right? There we go. So now we're working with a blank canvas. And yeah, we're going to want to delete these, even these stairs, I think. Let's get rid of it all and just start with a nice blank canvas here. So we know that's going to be the height of the second floor, all the way up there. It's very high up, honestly. So let's start with opening up the tower here. So we've got a lovely tower in here. So I'm just going to open this up slightly to reveal the entire tower here. And I'm thinking maybe the tower is the way that we get up and down to the second floor. And we could probably do this either with normal stairs going up like this, or we could do it with spinny stairs going up like this. Not sure which one. Let's go all the way up first. Yeah, not sure. Maybe the spinny stairs? I mean, did they even have spinny staircases in medieval times? I'm not 100% sure they did, but hell, we've got them in our house. So let's go ahead and add in our ceiling tiles. And of course, we want to do half a wall up from here. So right there. And then we want to go all the way across the entire build, all the way to the other side. So let's do that now. There we go. Then we just need to add in some quarter ceilings here. And there we go. That is all added in, looking absolutely lovely. We need to get rid of this pillar that's just sticking out. Let's replace that with a pillar that's not going to stick out. How am I going to do that? Maybe like this and like that. There we go. That worked. And probably, honestly, just continue the pillar all the way to the top there. Nice and easy. There we go. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to do up on this second floor. Maybe this is bedrooms. Maybe it's, I'm not sure, living area. And then I do want to add in another floor here. So I think maybe we'll go all the way up to the next bay windows here and add in another ceiling. So probably start it from here and go all the way across as far as we can. There we go. And then on the edges here, we just want to use quarter ceilings going around the entire edge. Lovely. And you know what? It is a bit dark in here, so why don't we make another bay window? I'm thinking maybe right here we could have a window. So from the outside, this is the location of the next bay window. And to make this bay window, we are simply going to add a door, 2 pillars, a sloped wall either side, and then we're going to use quarter ceilings going out like this, 1, 2, 3, followed by roofing on top of this. And then the snapping's going to be a little bit hard on this part, so I'm going to add in 2 temporary ceilings right here. And then we're going to add in 2 sloped walls inside. And I think we can just delete this now on the front here. Whoops, I just got rid of that pillar. I'll put that back in a second. Yes, that looks absolutely fine. And then we'll just add that pillar back in that I accidentally deleted. Fantastic. Now, I'm thinking for this section here, I'm going to use the frontier skin. I'm going to move it over to the window, the glass, frontier glass structure skin. And then I can have a little window up there as well, which is kind of cute. And also replace this one, and this one, as well as the pillars and the roof. That looks pretty good. I do think I'm going to have to do the same color scheme quickly. So, again, same color scheme as we've done everywhere else. There we go. So that's the color scheme. Again, it's just white walls, blue roof. And then we leave the pillars the color they already are. So this bay window, I think I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So one there, and we better as well do one on this side as well, so it would be here. So these are the locations from the outside, so let's go ahead and add these in now. So I'll do that and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added those in, it should look something like this. Okay, so let's go back inside again and start working from the bottom to the top. So at the bottom here, we did add in this little sort of outbuilding here, so let's just delete this wall here. And we have this little... It could be a toilet, actually. This could be a good toilet. But I'm thinking for now, let's add in a window right there. So that we get a bit more light. I just want to try and add as much light in here as possible. And we also need a couple of windows on this side as well. So let's do one here and one here. Okay, so we're going to go with a bit of function and a bit of form at the same time. So we're probably going to do a crafting area down here. And then the upstairs, I'm thinking we'll do possibly storage / a little bit of living area as well. Maybe like a library, potentially, or something else. And then the next floor up, I just realised that we don't have a way to get up there. Now, do I just continue the staircase up? I don't think I can. So I can't have a staircase going up there, sadly. So I think we're going to have to do a staircase somewhere in here, which is fine. So let's just see what we're working with up here. So up here, it's actually pretty nice up here. It's very light, very airy. So I think we're probably going to do a bedroom up here. Bedroom or bedrooms up here. Okay, so I think this is going to be a build where I'm going to try and make it feel quite homey and quite closed in. And give different rooms to different things. So I think immediately I'm going to start to block off certain areas. So I'm probably going to block off this hallway as you come in. And guys, I'm literally making this up as I go along, so you'll have to bear with me if I'm a little bit confused myself at what I'm doing. Now, I do know that I want beams flying across the ceiling. I just don't know how high I want them. I'm thinking I'll put them this high, actually. So I'm going to add these pillars going across the entire thing, so all the way to this side. So we're going to start from just one below the quarter walls here, and we're going to go all the way across. Okay, there we go. So the beams are all added in. So I went all the way across that way. And then I also added in 2 additional ones going across this way. So I went one this way. I did one over here going all the way to the other side like that. I will change this over to the frontier skin later, but I'll leave it as is for now. So now I think I'm going to block off this area a little bit further. So we're going to go one here and then add in a doorway here and then another wall here. So this is essentially the little reception area where you come into, and then we'll come out to a dining room and a kitchen. I think that's the plan. So how are we going to do this? So let's block off the dining room around somewhere around there. And then from the reception, I'll probably go straight from this wall, keep going on to around here. So we've got the reception, 2 walls, and then 3 walls coming out this way so far. I mean, I literally am making this up as I go along. I know I've already said that, but I really am. Let's add in a little bit of a divider here as well. And then maybe a door here. So we've got to come through the reception into this hallway and then round the corner, which leads you to the kitchen and a dining room. And then, of course, straight from the kitchen, you're going to be able to go up the stairs here. So I'm going to just put a pillar going up the middle of the stairwell, which then leads you to the upstairs area here. And I've just realized that I said this is all going to be crafting down here. Well, I lied, because apparently there's just going to be a kitchen and a dining room down here. So probably the upstairs is where all the fun stuff's going to be. So now I've done the layout of the downstairs area, let's go ahead and go into super fast build mode and create the interior of this. Okay, well that is kind of a kitchen. I tried to do a little island here with some storage boxes, but I've just realised you can't place the mortar and pestle on top of these, so I might swap this out for a table later, we'll see. And another thing I'm thinking of doing, which will be quite time consuming, is painting these walls white, but not the outside wall because we want to keep that brown, just the inside wall here. So that will require me to find out what colour regions we need to paint. So it will be 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. I think this will help lighten up the interior a little bit because at the moment it's very dark in here. So yeah, I'll probably do that later as well. Just colour the inside of this. So that's the kitchen all done. Now let's move on to the dining room. And there we go on the dining room. Now, I might add in a few additional things later to dress it up a little bit, but you get the idea of what I'm going for. Table in the middle, and some stuff going around the edge here. So now let's pop on upstairs and see what we're going to do up here. So I'm definitely thinking this is going to be kind of the main base area, although this would have probably been a better living area because of all the light coming in. Okay, so just to show you what I've got so far, and I will be splitting these sections off. I've got like a chemistry section over here, I've got a little storage section here, and I've got a refining forge and smithy section over here. I have so much space though, I'm kind of at a loss what to do with it. I'm not usually like this, I'm usually quite good at filling up space. But what I think I'm going to do now is probably split the room up a little bit. Okay, so I've split the rooms up a little bit here. I've got the smithy section over here. Although it's a bit small, I might actually swap the chemistry section and the smithy section. So the smithy section will be over there, and the chemistry section will be in here. I think that'll be a lot better. And then we just need a good place to get up to the next floor. I think I'm going to change even more of what I've done. So obviously I said that's moving over there. I think I'll have the entrance to this room right here. Would make more sense. Somewhere around here. Probably right there. Probably like this. So this is going to be the entranceway. Which means this is all going to be closed off. And then I think I'm going to add in some stairs around here somewhere. Going off to the right. And around to the top. Perfect, so you're going to come up these stairs from the bottom floor, and it will take you to the next set of stairs, or you can continue on to all your crafting areas up here. I think that works quite nicely. And then this is going to take you up to the bedroom area, which I'm afraid I'm going to do off camera, but I'll show you everything at the end, and you'll see exactly how I've done it. So there you have it. I've shown you how to do the whole of the exterior to this build. And I've given you a bit of an idea of what I'm going to do to the interior. I'm literally just going to paint this inside here. Probably do the same on the second floor here. Paint it, just give it a bit more life with a few more decorations. Probably put the beams coming across as well. But please do not worry everyone, because I promise you I'll show you every single little detail and thing that I add during the base tour and give you a full detailed explanation of how I did it. So I'm going to go away and do all of that now. And I'll see you guys after the cinematic shots. Oh my goodness me, isn't she beautiful? What a beautiful bird. Anyway, let's head on up to the medieval base on my stag, because of course, back in medieval times, people rode stags. Don't Google that. Just take my word for that. So I have added a few little decorations to the outside, which we'll go through first. Let me just get off my stag here. So let's start off on the right here, because I decided to add a wild garden. Well, I tried to add a wild garden. All I did was add some stone foundations. I did 1, 2, 3 this way, and then another 2, 3 this way. And then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. And all I did in here was add in hundreds of crop pots, which cover the entire foundation. And then I have used a plant mod that I use quite frequently, which is called the JVH landscaping mod. And as you can see here, I've got this bench. All you got to do is add some wood or fiber and you can craft plants and trees and rocks. It's a very, very useful mod, and it's the only mod I'm using on this build today. So this build is completely doable on official servers on ARK. You just won't be able to do all these wildflowers like I have. But what you can do instead is just plant loads of plants in the crop pots and have a little vegetable patch out here. I think that would be kind of cute. So if we head on up to the house here, you can see that I slightly edited this awning. You know, I said earlier that it might be a bit too long. Well, I did shorten it by 1 ramp. And all I've done here is add in like a little storage section. So we've got some barrels and storage boxes just for a bit of decoration. Coming across to the front of the build here, we've added in a little plant box here. The way I added this in was just literally using quarter walls going around, and then quarter ceilings on top with a little crop pot on top and a bush. So the bush is part of the JVH landscaping again, but you can just plant your own crop in there instead. Let's keep on heading around. I added a random town bell here. I'm not sure why, but I did. That's part of the frontier pack, so all part of vanilla, I was about to say vanilla Minecraft. Vanilla ARK. Added more plant boxes here. Just again, same method, quarter walls, crop pots, and even railings on top as well, and then the plants in that. And the same here on the left. I just added some plant boxes going around to add a little bit of a border rather than using a railing. I also decided to add a big windmill in because I felt like it fit quite well. I just added some random little bits of decoration here, like the chairs and a campfire next to our glorious tower. And I'm pretty sure that I added in some extra glass here. So these are frontier glass, but you can add greenhouse glass if you would like instead, just to let in a little bit more light because it was quite dark inside the house. So let's head on around the back here. So again, nothing too crazy, just some barrels and more plant boxes back here with a little seating area so you can sit and enjoy the view of your house. Not that I can see it in third person. Let me go into first person. Can I go into third person? I can't go into first person. Okay, well, I just really quickly want to point out that I also used the JVH landscaping plants up here, so I gave the roof a bit of greenery. And I also added some additional plant pots on the second level up here as well. I also used the water towers to give the illusion that there's a chimney here. Right, so if we head on inside the front of the build here, we should come into the reception area, which isn't much of an area, honestly. I didn't decorate it that much. I just added in some plant pots and some plants. I did add a lamp here, but I decided not to go for this lamp, even though it would really light up the area. I decided to go for the frontier lamps from the frontier pack. I feel like these fit the theme of medieval a little bit better, but at the same time they don't give off a lot of light, so I'll probably have to lighten up the whole video in post-editing. So if we come on in, we're met by the kitchen, which is basically the same as what you remember it. All I've done in here really is paint the walls white, and I also changed the storage boxes in the middle for tables, just so I'm able to add a light on top of that as well. I put a little water tap here to mimic a sink, even though it's not working currently. And we've used quarter walls above with storage boxes and beer barrels to kind of mimic kitchen cabinets, which I feel is quite effective. I've also painted in the ceiling above and I added loads more beams in. I've basically done a whole grid of beams, which I feel works a bit better. So if we come on into the dining room here, we've of course not done a lot actually. We've got some plant pots around that I added, and all the lighting that I added in here. That honestly isn't giving off a lot of light in here, so I do recommend probably using an omnidirectional lamppost. We have all our dodo companions here waiting for food, but they can't eat, only I'm allowed to eat here. I also use some canvases, and I dressed the canvas with the frontier pack, which means you can have like a little frame around it. I didn't put a painting in it because it seemed to lag the whole entire game. I'm not sure why, so I just left it. Right, so let's head on up the stairs here, which of course is the staircase that goes up the tower. And as you can see, I did add in the windows that I mentioned earlier, and this just brings in a bit more light because otherwise, oh my goodness, it is so dark. So let's head on up here, and we come to the lovely upstairs crafting area. In this hallway, I haven't done a lot, I just added in some bookshelves here. And then of course we got our staircase going up to the bedroom, which we won't go up just yet. Let's head on around. So over to the right here, again, not a lot changed. I added in a fabricator here as well. I forgot to add that in when I was doing it earlier. So this is our laboratory, and it has, well, the basics. You've got a fridge, you've got your chemistry benches, and you've got some storage in the forms of barrels. I've also got a vault here, so you've got all the storage you could possibly need for this area. I do have a generator here just so I can turn all the lamps on. And then I did have an omnidirectional here, which if I turn on, honestly, isn't this so much better? Why wouldn't you use these? I think everyone should just use these, honestly. So coming out of the laboratory, and I do like the layout in here. I think we did a good layout in the end with how we did the walls, etc. So I'll head on over to the left here. And this is our blacksmithing zone, where we've got the forges and the smithing table, a little bit of storage, and even a little desk over here. And of course, more storage over here as well. Honestly, nothing too crazy, it's a bit basic. In the middle hallway here, I added in a little sofa area here, using the frontier sofa, and I figured out that you can actually place the sofa inside each other, as long as you've got it selected as no snapping, and make sure that you've selected free placing mode. You can literally just place it into each other. So now it looks like a 3-seater sofa, and you can sit perfectly in the middle, just like that. Look at that. And the last room in this area is the storage room, which is just literally some vaults, a little storage box there, and even some bookshelves. I think overall this works really well. I mean, this is kind of all you need, right, for crafting, etc. I'm surprised how big this house actually is, because from the outside it doesn't look that big, but from the inside, actually, you can fit quite a lot in here. And then coming back to the stairs here, and I did change out the stairs to the frontier stairs. They don't look too much different to the wooden stairs. They're just a little bit darker. So we come on up here, we are met by the bedroom in the attic. So I've added in a load of storage up here because it is an attic, so I thought why not add in a load of barrels and little storage boxes. I have a little living area here. We've got a fireplace to keep us warm at night, and we have probably the worst designed bed I've ever done, because I've done similar beds to this in the past, but this time I think I've gone too short with it. Basically, you can sleep in this bed, but if you get up from the bed, you will literally get stuck and not be able to move. So, yeah, don't follow this design. But if you do want to see how I've done similar beds to this in the past, I recommend looking at my Zelda build on the channel. There's a really awesome bed on the Zelda build, and there's also a really awesome bed on the modern house build. So do go check them out after this, because it will show you how I build those. I've also, of course, got my overgrown dog up here keeping me company. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? And over here, I forgot to mention, I've added in loads of quarter walls, because before it was just the roof sloping downwards. So I thought, let's block off this section with loads of quarter walls going across this side and on this side. And I also painted them white just to fit in with the rest of the build. So I think overall, guys, other than this bedroom, I haven't added in loads of additional stuff that I haven't already shown. So Just mainly some small decor changes and that is it. Oh, also, I did add in this random triangle sticking out here. I actually don't really like it. I'll probably keep it as it was in the tutorial. All I did was add in a sloped wall, some quarter walls, and then another sloped wall, just to have it have a little bit of a point and extra support coming out there. But actually, I'm not sure I like it. I think I preferred it without it, so honestly, not even worth mentioning. Is that a bird? That is a bird. A blue bird at that. What a pretty bird. And now you are mine, pretty bird. And what a beautiful view you get from the medieval house. I mean, look at the mountain range in the distance. All the trees down there as well. It's honestly a very good place to build. As long as you're happy with a load of Argentavis on your doorstep, it's kind of perfect. Well, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash the like button. Comment down below what you want me to build next, because I do read the comments and I love viewer suggestions. And why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Also, really quick shout out to my survival series on ARK. If you didn't know, I have a playlist on my channel with my survival playlist. I'm currently on Scorched Earth surviving, so do go check that out after this. So until next time, guys, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.